Hey guys, welcome to the Fab 5, and I thought in honor of Zootopia, I would do the top 5 Disney animated films. Now that doesn't include Pixar or anything else that Disney owns, we're talking straight up Disney animated films. So without further ado, here we go.
Number 5.
Don't worry for any of you girls watching, you can breathe easy, The Little Mermaid makes the list. But I will say this was dangerously close to not making the list, and I actually had it off the list many times. The reason for that is I don't find Ariel to be a particularly compelling character. She's fun and easy to sing along with, but she never actually has a lot to do in the movie. A big part of the story is her relationship with Eric, but even their romance isn't executed all that well. There doesn't seem to be much allure to Eric besides that he looks really sexy playing with his dog. Okay. That came out wrong, but you get my point. But what really elevates Little Mermaid is just about everything else in the movie. Creating a universe under the sea is an extremely daunting task, and Disney hit a home run here. They made it fun, exciting, dangerous, and full of life. The supporting characters in the movie are some of the best in any Disney movie ever, and they all bring very different things to the table. Flounder, Sebastian, and Scully, they have these different personalities, and it's really fun watching them clash together. But the one truly unique thing about The Little Mermaid is Ursula. Ursula, in my opinion, is the single best Disney villain we've ever seen. She's menacing, deceptive, smart, and just downright creepy. She's got a great Disney villain song too, in Poor Unfortunate Souls. And what's very interesting is you kind of see why she's so evil. She's this hideous sea witch who's clearly never been liked by anyone, so she's embraced that evil and she wants to get revenge on all those picture-perfect mermaids and mermen. There was a lot of competition for the number 5 spot, but ultimately the power of Ursula and the magic of life under the sea gives the Little Mermaid the honor.
Number 4.
Unlike Ariel, Mulan is an excellent leading female character. While she's not technically a Disney princess, she might as well be, and she's a great role model. She's strong physically, emotionally, and mentally. She's honorable and respectful, but not obedient. She has a mind of her own, and she isn't afraid to stand up for what she believes in. It was risky for Disney to tell a story in China when people were accustomed to the Snow Whites and Sleeping Beauties of Disney. But China is captured beautifully. You get hints of the Chinese culture, and it deals with some very serious concepts like execution in a family-friendly yet sincere way. A story about essentially a woman proving herself to men could come across as pretentious and preachy, but Mulan is filled with a ton of fun on top of some very serious undertones. The Huns are a menacing threat, and Shan Yu is an outstanding villain. While he lacks the depth of some other great villains, he captures the intimidation aspect of a villain flawlessly. There's great action, wonderful songs. I'll Make a Man Out of You is one of the great all-time Disney songs, and who can forget Mushu, one of the best sidekicks we've ever seen. Mulan earns the number 4 spot.
Number 3.
2 words. Robin Williams. While Aladdin has a lot of really good elements to it, Robin Williams' performance as the genie elevates Aladdin to an entirely new level. On paper, the genie would be a fun character for any actor to voice, but Robin Williams created an icon with the genius of his talent as a comedian and voice actor. You can tell watching the film that at least half of the dialogue was improvised by Williams, as he's just inhabiting this character. We've seen godly-esque creatures in many movies, but never has one been as fun as the genie. But as fun as the genie is, what makes him great is that he's also got a very sincere side to him as well. He comes across as the prototypical best friend that any kid would want. Genie aside, it's fun watching a flawed hero like Aladdin grow as a person throughout the film. The scene in the Cave of Wonders is one of the all-time Disney greats. It's intense, it's scary, and it's great world building. Jasmine is somewhat of an underdeveloped character, but her strong will makes her compelling to watch on screen. Much like The Little Mermaid, Aladdin has some excellent supporting characters as well in Iago, Abu, and Raja. While I don't consider Jafar one of the greatest Disney villains, He's certainly a very good one. He conveys plotting and scheming very well. He may not be physically imposing, but you can always feel uncomfortable knowing he's never telling the whole truth and always has a hidden agenda. Aladdin is a fun story with an interesting lead, compelling villain, and one of the best characters in animation of all time, and it's very worthy of the number 3 spot.
Number 2.
Tale as old as time indeed. While Beauty and the Beast has never necessarily been one of my absolute favorites, it's unquestionably one of the best. There's always something about a castle in Disney that makes the movie feel magical. And the amazing thing about this castle is how real it feels. Other castles in the Disney universe just look like a video game or a projection of a standard castle, but the Beauty and the Beast castle looks and feels real. It feels lived in and scary. It truly feels like the ghost of a place that once had life. And there is such quality storytelling discussing relevant themes, like beauty's on the inside, you can't dwell on the past, and above all, just be nice to people. Beauty and the Beast is a very mature movie that is still fun for kids to watch. It's fun watching candlesticks and clocks running around, but those same characters are at the same time tortured characters living a doomed life that they aren't responsible for. Love stories are a dime a dozen in the Disney world, but this one is one of the best. It's done subtly and over time, and it plays off the fact that sometimes love starts out as initial resentment towards one another. The film also has some genuinely scary moments that set the tone for the story to slowly move towards a happy ending. And who can forget that there's no one like Gaston, a great villain who reminds every single person of someone you hated in high school. Beauty and the Beast is a fantastic love story with wonderful themes and very good lead characters. The potential for the live-action film is off the charts, so let's hope it delivers. Beauty and the Beast slots in with the number 2.
Number 1.
Of course, The Lion King is number 1. If it's not your number 1, you have a lot of explaining to do. Is the story based off Hamlet? I'm sure it is, but who the heck cares? The Lion King is a perfect film. It's the only animated movie I've ever seen that truly appeals to everyone. So many adults pretend to act too cool for Disney movies once they grow up, but no one denies their love for The Lion King. Hakuna Matata is a phrase you still hear often, and as if Hakuna Matata wasn't one of the most iconic Disney songs of all time, The Circle of Life and Can You Feel the Love Tonight are just as iconic. You can still see Lion King merchandise, children still call lions at the zoo Simba, and that will never change because The Lion King is a timeless movie that hits every note it's trying to hit from start to finish. It's fun, intense, sad, inspiring, and 1,000 other words. Everyone knows and loves Timon and Pumbaa, and my personal favorite, Rafiki. And who can forget the amazingly conniving and deceptive Scar, one of the best Disney villains hands down. He is electrifying to watch in every scene he's in, and the way he bites it is pretty darn dark for Disney. The way the film approaches what the circle of life is and what the dynamic of the animal kingdom is really fun. It's approached seriously, but it adds the perfect amount of fantastical elements to create more compelling fiction. And perhaps the most underrated aspect of the film is how well it shows what growing up is about. Forgetting about your past, learning and accepting responsibility, having self-confidence. It's so rare to see a movie where the lead is a kid half the movie and an adult the second half. Normally that would feel like 2 different movies, but that's not the case in The Lion King. It's one cohesive story from start to finish that tells a wonderful story about loss, love, friendship, adulthood, and so much more. The Lion King is one of the rare films in cinema history that you'll find someone not at the very least enjoying it. The Lion King is unquestionably the number 1 best Disney animated movie of all time. So there you have it. That's my top 5 Disney animated movies. I can already feel the hate coming.
Good, I can feel your anger.
Look, it was a really hard list to do. I had a lot of deliberation at myself. It was really hard to take some movies off the list. There's just too many good Disney animated movies, but I felt very comfortable having those 5 in there, and I can easily defend why I kept some classics like The Jungle Book or Sleeping Beauty off the list. I'd love to hear what your top 5 is. Comment below and let me know. I'm sure it's way different than mine, but The Lion King better be there. If you like this video, click like. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.